Ceremony number 1, all finished. And oh my god. Oh man, words don't describe it. It was rough. It was really rough. I had a lot of shit to deal with, but it was extraordinary. It was extraordinary. It was way beyond my expectations. And I'm literally, it is so obvious that there is in fact a consciousness that it's with you the whole time. It's incredible. It only takes you as far as you can safely go, and it's listening to you the whole time. She's listening to you the whole time. Whenever I asked her to back off, she backed off and eased up. Whenever I asked her to keep pushing forward, and it's like, I can handle it. I can handle this. I'm used to this kind of torture. I'll keep going. She would keep pushing it out. It was like, so the whole time I was trying to kind of analyze it alchemically speaking. As an alchemist, because it seemed like we were. I can identify each of the situations I was in with an alchemical process. I think I got like 2.5 done last night. The first, for about 2 hours, I didn't really think that much was going to happen, because Jill had said that it kicks in after about half an hour, but I felt really, really hot. And I could tell that it wasn't coming from the room, because my body still felt cool, to the touch, but it was like there was a fire burning inside most of my body from inside, and it's like it was that would be calcination, alchemically speaking, which is associated with fire. It burns all your base materials into ashes, and involves crushing the ego, or burning it away, and nothing was going on up in my head at first, which is why I didn't think much was going to happen that night, or last night, but then so I smoked some of the special tobacco they provided, smoked a full cigarette, and eventually started getting sick. That and the heat intensified. I laid back down. The sickness kind of went away for a while, and Gary came over and asked me how I was feeling. Told him what was happening, and he asked me if I wanted another shot of ayahuasca. I said sure. So he brought me another one. Speaking of which, the first shot, I'd describe it as like taking a shot of peppermint vodka. It's like, it's really strong flavor, but kind of like slightly sweet hint to it, almost kind of pepperminty. Second one was gross. And it took me a while to get the taste out of my mouth. But about half hour later after the second one, I just started getting really woozy, and started seeing those like sacred geometry shapes. It's like the like imagine watching those weird like music videos on YouTube where they have those like screensaver type things going while you're listening to it. But it was like flowers blooming and such, and then I started getting sick, and it wasn't really the nausea that got me convulsing. It was like I've felt way sicker before and not thrown up, but it was like something after all that burning. It was all accumulating in my stomach. All that dark energy that she'd been digging down deep to find, just accumulated in my stomach, and suddenly I started convulsing, and eventually managed to get it up. And the liquid, the physical liquid that came up was the lesser amount of stuff that came up out of my mouth. I swear I felt the energy, the dark, negative energy blowing out of my mouth. Like literally, I could feel it. There was like gallons of negative energy coming from who knows where. I couldn't tell where it was coming from or what it was. I didn't see any visions of like certain things as it was coming up. But you see it. So my best guess would be it was from a past lifetime, which would explain why I couldn't deal with it personally. It's like I've always felt like there was something left that was holding me back, something really, really deep, which probably explains why it took so long for me to start feeling it. Because it was like half hour in, a lot of the people were throwing up and freaking out. David, he sounded like he was having the time of his life. It was like a 3-year-old on a roller coaster, yipping and hollering and laughing and banging on the floor like a little kid. And, but yeah, that was kind of entertaining. But yeah, after the initial convulsion, I laid back down, and I was still burning up inside, but then it felt like I was seeing these like Incan. I'd seen it in the Shipibo paintings before. It was like these worm-like strands with like Incan type style, ancient style patterns all over them, just flowing down onto me. It felt like a syrupy type of liquid, warm liquid. And at this point, I'd think that maybe a little bright in here for much longer, but for much more. But So, let's see. The alchemy process I'd associate that with would be dissolution, which involves water. It involves washing away all your negative emotions, and that started, and I felt like I literally felt like I was being sucked into the ground, and then a few minutes later, I had another series of convulsions and vomiting. And it was like the first, with the calcination, I would assume that it was something to do with thoughts and beliefs that were kind of not for me, really. And dissolution deals with feelings, emotions, and after that second convulsion, or what they call purging, I just had about a half hour of really negative like feelings and images going through my head. I was totally conscious of what was going on around me, but it was like none of it mattered. I was able to completely focus on myself and what was going on in me. It was like the Icaros that were being sung were just something in the background. And also the Icaros, as they were singing faster and faster while I was convulsing, it helped me to get it out. And after about half an hour of weird issues that I kept having to deal with, I'm assuming I was managing to deal with them because they kept coming, different things. I just felt so relieved, and felt like my physical body was totally drained, but I was just coursing with energy. It was like like a plug had been finally pulled from way deep down in my body, and then all the muck and crap that had been sitting in there just started pouring out over the next half hour or so. I had to deal with it all, and then started flowing freely, and it was all pure, and I just felt so relieved and hyped, and I don't know if happy would be the real word for it, but the relief of getting all that out of me was just amazing. And the convulsions, the vomiting, I would associate with separation. It's taking the materials that are left after calcination and dissolution, and pulling them out of the muck, and by dealing with all that muck, I was cleaning off my true self, and allowing it to really come through. And I mean, I didn't really feel like really that different in terms of like personality or anything, but except for the fact that it was like all those daily life issues, it didn't matter anymore. You can see me better from here. Oh, jeez, I'm almost out of batteries. But so after that, well, I can't really go very far into detail with it because it's too much detail. But I dealt with a whole lot of crap last night, and we're doing another one tonight. I thought we had a night off, but we're doing another one tonight, and at first I was like, oh my God, are you serious? I have to go through that again tonight? I mean, I was prepared for it, but that was when I thought I was getting a day off. But based on what I felt later last night, I'm quite sure most of the vomiting is done. That it's possible I might get a little more out in terms of vomiting, but the initial big boom tomorrow or tonight is going to be through the other end. They say that it's like there are several ways you can purge, and it's either through the mouth, or generally it's either through the mouth or the back end, and that's where it was all accumulating near the end. So tonight's gonna be well, not nearly as intense as last night, but well, not as rough anyway. Intensity, in terms of intensity, I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty crazy, but most of the negative stuff is gone, at least where vomiting is involved. But tonight I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a serious shock of the shits. And after that, I may have one more night of healing before it all starts, coming back. Everything starts charging up and getting ready to, blow my senses. Like David. But honestly,